we alluded to, we got a big show. We're going to talk all things Browns. We're going to get to the Jose extension, the Guardians, the Cavs playing better basketball of late, but we have to start with the latest in the head coaching search for the Cleveland Browns. The first topic today is brought to us by FanDuel. Guys, the NFL playoffs have one game left. It's just the Super Bowl, and just like the rest of the NFL playoffs, FanDuel is giving users a profit boost pack to use on their Super Bowl bets. You make your picks like normal, then apply the profit boost for even bigger payouts while the playoffs are rolling on. Just visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every single NFL game day. Guys, we had come into today expecting to talk about Nate Scheelhaase and his interview with the Browns in person in LA to start the show. And then we got this from Adam Schefter, who said Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski has informed the Browns that he is removing himself from consideration from their head coach position. Per a source, Udinski has a new deal in place with Jacksonville that will bump his pay for next season, but the Jaguars are allowing him to continue pursuing the Bills' head coaching job. If Udinski doesn't get the Buffalo job, he will be back as the Jaguars OC. Bull, your reaction to the news that Udinski is no longer in contention for the Browns head coaching position, joining the likes of Daniel and Jesse Minter as coaches who have said thanks, but no thanks to the Browns.
By the way, it's sad that we have to have a graphic for the coaches who have turned down the Browns. Like, what is that in the long, terrible history of the Browns? When have we ever had this? 3 coaches?
Well,
now, could this be Grant Udinski thought he wasn't getting the job? Maybe. Could it be that he feels like, you know what? I need a little more seasoning. I'm going to have plenty of time to get a job. Maybe.
He's still in contention for the Bills.
Okay. I'd be shocked if he's the Bills head coach.
I would too, but it's not him saying he needs more seasoning if he's still in contention for the Bills.
That's true. Maybe we'll hear later today that he's turning down the Bills too. Who knows? But yeah, on the surface, this doesn't look great for the Browns. The fact that 3 coaches now, and maybe we leave out Mike McDaniel because the whole process with him has been kind of weird. But the other 2 guys who are young coaches, first-time opportunity, the fact that they've pulled their name out, and with Udinski, it's particularly strange because he went for a second interview, and he just had that second interview, and the easy reaction is to say, well, something happened in that interview that he said, nah, I got to stay away from that. It's entirely possible that I'm just, blaming the Browns because they're usually at fault. Maybe this time they're not. I don't know. In the end, I didn't want him to be the head coach, so I'm kind of happy. But, right now it feels like, and this is silly because we have no idea if Nate Scheelhaase is going to be a good head coach. And I know we'll get to him in a minute. But it kind of feels like if they don't get him, this whole thing's a disaster. Fair or not, that's how it feels to me right now.
Jason?
I mean, it's a bad look. Of course it's a bad look. It can't look good, but it doesn't necessarily – I'm kind of with you, Adam. I said a couple weeks ago I wanted Scheelhaase because that's the name had been given to me within the league of who should they hire, Nate Scheelhaase. All right, well, you guys know it better than any of us, so yeah. I'll go with that. So it doesn't have to have a disastrous ending just because it's had more obstacles than what you'd want to see, right? Like, so yeah, it's I mean, at some point, Browns fans have to be honest that this is not an attractive job. Like, are people finally ready to agree on that or no? Is that still like the only people who are interested in this job are first timers and old timers who can't get another one. And even the first timers are now pulling out. So like, but again, that doesn't mean that has to end tragically. You can still come out of this with a good coach. And we'll see if they close the deal today with Scheelhaase or not. The way that this is kind of gone, I tend to think that was their guy all along. They're going to say that now, regardless if that's who it is. They're going to say that's who we wanted all along. But it's not a great look. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have to have a great ending.
G, before you jump in here, let me just say this. Everybody's like, the next McVay. And I think at this point, most of us want Scheelhaase, right? And you're hoping you get off that McVay tree. Obviously, it's not realistic to expect the next McVay, but let me say this. Before the Rams hired Sean McVay, they were a disaster of an organization for a while. In fact, they hired him in 2017. He immediately won a wild card or won 11 games and made the playoffs. But from 2004 through 2016, the year before he took over, the Rams never finished better than 8-8 and were under 500 almost every year but one for over a decade. So while the Browns may be a terrible job now and maybe a joke now, whether it's Nate Shieldhouse or they draft great or whatever it is, they could turn that around. It's going to take more time because you've been a bad organization for a while. But if you get the right coach and then eventually get the right quarterback, it's not like it's impossible to turn it around. The Rams obviously had more success, in the 90s and early 2000s than the Browns did. But still, the Browns had success in the 80s and some early 90s. So it's not impossible, just because it's a bad job now, that maybe 5 years from now we're going to think of this as a good job. It's possible.
I mean, I look at it like this, man. It's a coaching search. And in any search, if you're running a legit coaching search, you got to go through 5, 6, 10, 15, 30 coaches if you need to interview them. Some people might be interested in the job who thought that they wouldn't be interested, but they got in and understood and heard some things that sparked their interest. Some people you might bring in thought they had interest in the job and then say, I looked at a couple things compared to some other jobs out there. This ain't really a good one. So I'm going to go in another direction. I think we can't feel like every single time somebody says, oh, well, it's a better lookout there for me. It's a better situation here for me, or this really don't fit my thing. Hey, man, that's what profession is all about. Shake their hand. I respect your thing or respect what you're saying, but it's on to the next guy. Let's find the next guy who's willing to take the job and is interested in the job. And for me, I'll go on the opposite end of the spectrum and say, okay, say, for instance, all these people were interested in the Browns, Harbaugh, Tomlin, everybody, right? So they got the pick of the litter, and then the Browns still picked the wrong person, and that person totally turned out to be not the right person. Would you be happy because everybody was liking the job in the beginning? No, you would say that's cool, but the objective is to get the right person that is going to do what they need to do to turn it around. And at some point, you have to stake your claim in somebody moving it forward. Just because you are who you were last year with other people and a bunch of other guys, you got to give the energy to saying, listen, I believe in who we picked, and I believe the person that we are going to bring in here is different from everybody else. So therefore, we can start something new and come with a new, fresh attitude and perspective. But to do that, to get that person, you have to find the person that wants to be here. I don't want nobody that don't want to be here. If you don't want to be here, it's 28 other jobs. I wish you the best of luck. Maybe next time around we might see something. But in terms of who I want, if they want Shieldhouse and Shieldhouse is the guy and he wants the job, so be it, so be it. If they want Shorts, hey, look, if he wants the job and he has the best plan for what they want to do, so be it, so be it. I would have took Udinski or whatever the case may be. He said it ain't a good look for him. Okay, cool. Well, we on to the next one.